Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire. Baseball Saturday in Detroit, Michigan, and it's blossomed to beauty, 85 and sunny. It's the middle game of a three-game weekend series. The Detroit Tigers hosting the Los Angeles Dodgers. And welcome aboard, fans. You're about to see a team that is on a historic pace. The Los Angeles Dodgers, Kirk Gibson, once a Dodger himself as well as a Tiger. In the last 60 games, they are 51-9. That hasn't happened in 105 years. New York Giants, no, I didn't call their games. And they're 86-34 overall. That high over 500 hasn't happened in 64 years with Brooklyn. They have the best pitching staff in the entire major leagues. They're hitting, they're fielding. Is this a great team?
Well, we're going to find out. You know, you go to every series, you advance them, then you play them, and you say, do we have to adjust? Well, we saw last night the Tigers, that the Dodgers are for real. They're aggressive at the plate. They're aggressive on the bases. How are you going to stop him? So first of all, Michael Fulmer's on the mound tonight. He's got to stay ahead of him. No walks. 3 of them scored last night. They will sit curveball first pitch with runners in scoring position. So you can't throw the ordinary get-me-over breaking ball. It's going to have to be a chase pitch. Aggressive on the bases. Detroit must get the guy that's running up behind the lead runner and cut that big inning off. Now, Michael Fulmer was the Rookie of the Year in 2016. 17's been a little differently. He struggled 10-10 this year. He's had a little arm issue. 1 start since they shut him down for 1 start. He feels like he'll be much more comfortable on the mound today.
Well, the Dodgers could go 14-28 the rest of the way and still win 100 games. So the task is tough for the Detroit Tigers. No one has taken a series from Los Angeles since early June. Let's see how great they are today. And one of the surprises this year, a new name, Chris Taylor. 4 hits last night, batting .353 on the road. Another weapon in a powerful LA lineup. You're about to see some special baseball from Detroit today. Michael Fulmer, and the Tigers take the field trying to break out of an August slump. They're 2 for the last 13. Here's the batting order for the visiting LA Dodgers, presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. There's Taylor leading off. 4 hits last night. Then Seager at 310. Turner leads the National League at 345. Bellinger, the brilliant power hitting rookie. Look at the numbers 5 hitter Curtis Granderson, Grandy Man, the former Tiger, acquired overnight from the New York Mets. Then Grandal, Gonzalez back from injury, Forsythe at 3rd, and the veteran Chase Utley bats 9th. Michael Fulmer, 10 and 10, leading winner for the Tigers this year, and his ERA 3.78 ranks in the top 10 in the American League. He faces Chris Taylor, and we're underway in Detroit. First pitch just misses. Adam Hamari behind the plate. Taylor never had more than 7 home runs in their minor league seasons, and he's hit 17 in the bigs. Dodgers just can't seem to find anyone who will be a problem for them. They're top to bottom in the lineup. Their dugout is full of talent. Their pitching staff is by far and away the best ERA in baseball. 2-0 and 3-0 now to Taylor. And the walks will hurt you. There's evidence last night. Tiger pitching walked the leadoff man 3 times, and all 3 scored. There's Granderson in the Dodger blue, former Tiger star. And a 4-pitch walk to Taylor. That's not how Fulmer and the Tigers had planned to open today. Today's starting pitcher is Michael Fulmer, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Yeah, 23rd start for Michael. His lost 4 in a row, though he is tied for 2nd in the AL with 17 quality starts. You can see he's a little pumped up for today's game. 95 plus on the fastball. Also a slider and a change.
Here's an interesting matchup. The National League Rookie of the Year batting against the American League Rookie of the Year. And it's Seager hitting it into the hole. The quick toss is in time at 2nd. And they get the force with Seager safe at 1st on the fielder's choice. Seager hitting 310, as was Taylor, was forced at 2nd.
Yeah, good play here by Iglesias. You can see he's got great hands, and he goes to second base, and Kinsler smartly holds on to the ball. Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning bring you the Tigers starting defense. Out in left field, you got Upton, Jacoby Jones in center today, Mikey Matuk in right, Castellanos and Cabrera on the corners in the infield, Iglesias and Ian Kinsler up the middle. James McCann is catching Michael Fulmer today.
And here's the National League's leading hitter, Justin Turner, 345 average. Takes it low. Former star in Southern California at California State Fullerton. They won the College World Series back in 2004. Gets the inside corner, 1-1.
Corey Seager on first base. He's got 3 bags this year. Will steal occasionally. There's your umpires.
Amari is from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Marquette.
Yeah, Marquette.
He's a long way from home, though, even though he's in Michigan right now.
That is a good hike.
About a 7-8 hour drive.
Yeah, once you get to Escanaba, though, you've almost got it made.
What's that song? Escanaba in the Moonlight?
I dare you. That's in there at the knees. 1-2.
Sure, Adam has a lot of family down here, like players do. Umpires want to have good games as well.
You can see center fielder Jones slightly to right center. They give Turner the gap in left center. Misses away, 2-2.
Well, Michael Fulmer right there, 1.05 seconds to the plate. You can tell he's trying to let the Dodgers know he will manage the running game early, though pitchers sometimes can rush too much. Got to take your time and make sure you get your mechanics underway to throw the ball where you need to.
Snap throw, and not in time, as the throw, had it been on line to Cabrera, might have been close. But Cabrera had to leap to keep that one out of right field.
See, if with the leading hitter in the National League, you would have to believe that Corey Seager will be underway.
He's gone. And the ball's hit the right center. Jones drifts over. And there's 2 away. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, rookie Cody Bellinger. And what a rookie season he's enjoying. Just 22 years of age, out of Chandler, Arizona. A non-roster player at the start of the season back in spring training, delivering a .275 average and 34 home runs.
You always hope when you go into every season that there's a player down there who's going to come a long way. Bellinger is one of many for the Dodgers this year.
The way do you look at this swing if you haven't seen Bellinger in action this year? Stands tall in the batter's box. And it's got a lot of O's in his smooth swing.
Now watch his bat. He starts with it very flat. Then when he gets in his ready position, it will go way up. Watch, he moves it. It's flat. He'll get to his ready position. It'll change. It's part of his timing mechanism. So much is said about mechanics of hitting, but it's when you get to the plate, it's about timing. Mechanics work takes place in spring training, even before that, throughout the year, in early session in the cage. You get out here, it's competition. You against the guy on the mound, on the rubber, 60 feet 6 inches away.
High pop up, shallow left center, could be tough. And Iglesias drifting out in almost medium deep left field. That ball hit so high in the air the shortstop could get to it. Took it out of Upton's grasp. Order presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Kinsler, Matuk, and Upton the first 3. Upton having a sensational year, leading in almost every category. Then the veteran Miggy Cabrera, followed by Castellanos. Victor Martinez homered last night. McCann, the catcher, has hit safely in 22 of the last 25. Then rookie Jacoby Jones making his first start since being called up from Toledo. And Jose Iglesias bats 9th against Hyunjin Ryu. Kinsler hitting .246. Couple of steals last night. He's always been a threat on the bases. 231 career stolen bases.
Ian had a walk last night to lead off the game for the Tigers and stole second and third. Ended up scoring. He's had many leadoff home runs in his career.
6 this year, Kirk. 46 in his career.
So he's a veteran guy. He came out with a lot of energy yesterday, but ultimately the Tigers could not match the Dodgers over the 9 innings.
2 balls and a strike. Ryu is 4-6 on the year. He's battled serious problems, health problems, for 2 years. It's his 19th game, 18th start. Ripped, and that ball is just foul. Kinsler flirts with a double, but just about 2 feet foul. MGM Grand Detroit presents the starting pitcher, Ryu.
2-0 with the 2.50 ERA in his last 7. That was after a stint in the bullpen that woke him up. And it's interesting. The Tigers have all right-handers in the lineup today. Lefties are hitting 327 off Ryu. Righties only 240, but the Tigers don't have many lefties, so that's an interesting matchup. Lots of secondary stuff. Very few curveballs. Ryu's going to mix it up. Probably like 30% fastballs. Got to change a curveball. We'll throw a cutter. And the key for Ryu is to get strike 1. That gets him in trouble. Of course, that gets a lot of pitchers in trouble. He has to command that zone and command that count.
Kinsler works the count full. And a leadoff walk. That's how it started last night.
Let's take a look at the Dodgers starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. The new guy out in left field, Curtis Granderson, the Grandy man, Chris Taylor in center, Cody Bellinger in right, Forsythe and Gonzalez on the corners, Chase Utley at second base, Corey Seager at shortstop, as Monty Grandal is catching Youngjin Ryu.
Mikey Matuk, 27-year-old former LSU Tiger, having a good season. Checks in at 302. Ryu, only 1 start last year and missed all of 2015. Shoulder surgery, elbow tendonitis. So finally healthy enough to rejoin the Dodger rotation. And the last 7 starts, he's 2-0 with a 2.50 ERA.
Ian Kinsler, as we said, with a couple of steals last night, 11 on the year, only caught 4 times. You know, these guys all like to run, but try and explain, how do you know whether you should go or not? As a general rule, from the time the pitcher moves to the time the ball goes to the catcher and goes to second base, let's use a baseline of 3.3 seconds. So Ryu right now is about a 1.2. So that gives you a 2.1 seconds the catcher has to get it there in time to get Kinsler. So that would not be a good time, because most catchers are 1.9. 2 would be average.
Lifted off first into foul territory. Gonzalez, the Golden Glove first baseman, captures the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. What a day we have for baseball here in the Motor City. Temperature 80 degrees, expected to hit a high of 85. Humidity is relatively low for mid-August.
Look at the sun. Don't look up there at well, it's already did. Is the eclipse over? That's on Monday, so don't look up there on Monday.
Yeah, be sure you have the special glasses.
2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It might get a little dark out, but don't look up.
Justin Upton, a pair of home runs last night, his first 2 home run game of the season. 25 overall.
Yeah, Jay up with a couple of home runs last night, 4 hits. And just looking at Ryu right there, just held the ball on him, tried to disrupt his timing. Obviously, Jap's very comfortable at the plate.
Moved to first base. Upton hitting .285 on the season, but he has enjoyed especially hitting in daylight. Day games at .323 for Upton. That's fourth best in the league.
Well, as we watch Ian Kinsler, he always tries to get a walking lead before he steals. Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Jay up. Something happened there? Did he hurt something?
Yeah, he looked a little ouchy. We had an unusual moment last night. Upton's first home run. He rounded first, rounded second, stopped, said, hold on, went all the way back and retouched first base. Apparently his cell phone's been ringing off the hook ever since. What was that all about?
Well, he thought he missed first base. He wasn't sure whether he touched it. He got between second and short. Here's the previous pitch where he swung. He thought maybe he hurt something. He stood out for a while in the batter's box. Maybe he was just controlling some disappointment.
Fouled off first and over the head of Gonzalez. Let's go back to that moment last night.
Champ in the third inning came up. Tigers were trailing 4-2 at the time. And then he decides, oh, I'm going to make sure I touch that bag. And we looked at the tape and he did. And then in the ninth inning off Kenley Jansen.
That was a bomb.
And no doubter.
His 25th of the year. Outside.
2-2.
Well, you had Upton when you managed at Arizona. Can you give us any insight into his talent and demeanor?
Ton of talent. He's really matured as a person, as a player. Really relaxed and very steady, much more steady than he used to be.
Swing and a miss, and that was an awkward cut. Maybe there is something bothering him. 2 away. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Mickey Cabrera.
Just kind of surprised. It looks like a little backdoor cutter. It's kind of after the fact swing. Jap's going back to dugout thinking about how he gets him next time. The base is loaded. You notice Ryu, he likes to throw that cutter in on the righties. They said righties only hitting .240 against him.
Well, this season an anomaly for Mickey Cabrera. .257 average for a man who has a career average of .321. And a couple of years ago you wouldn't have much of an argument saying this is the best hitter in baseball, but an off season for Cabrera.
Hitting well over 300 versus left-handers though, so Tigers are looking for Mickey to connect.
High to center field. Taylor jogs in, and that'll do it for Detroit in the bottom of the first inning. On to the second, and Curtis Granderson as a Dodger coming up. Curtis Granderson back in Detroit, uniform of the Dodgers. Picked up on a trade made in the last 24 hours with the New York Mets. He had some terrific years, the Grandy man, here in Detroit. There were his numbers as a Met this season, low average, but 19 home runs. Now has 312 career homers. 6 years in Detroit, then 4 with the Yankees, and this was his 4th year with the Mets. A character that's always welcomed in any baseball clubhouse. He won the Roberto Clemente Award, a distinguished honor on and off the field. Granderson, a quality athlete.
Drafted in the 3rd round by the Tigers back in 2002.
3-1. Pulled into the shift, and there's Kinsler to take care of business. 1 away.
Tiger fans, as always, gave their appreciation for his hard work, for his dedication as a Tiger, for his at bat. We appreciate the out, though. Kind of hard, always in a conflict when you've been with an organization and they give you recognition, and then you're trying to beat them. Always felt weird going to a team that I was always had played with.
Grandal fouls it away. Dodger catcher, 28-year-old, family escaped from Cuba as a youngster. He attended the University of Miami. Switch hitter, having a solid season. More power from the left side.
Grandal was a better hitter from the left side as well. For Brad Ausmus, you always want to take a look at the lineup the first time through, what you might do way back and way into the 7th inning. Doc Roberts, he's doing the same. Always thinking ahead as a manager. Watching the swings, reading the swings again. You have your data going in. You've done your pre-game, pre-series scouting report. Now you're trying to verify it as you go through the lineup.
So you're a fan of the sabermetrics?
I think it's a good mix. But again, the eyes tell you a lot. Look at the swings. You may be throwing somebody inside, see that they're swinging good at that ball right now. I mean, many managers, for all the metrics, they try and go with the most current trends.
Down goes Grandal. First strikeout for Fulmer.
97 miles an hour on that fastball by Michael Fulmer. He got great stuff. And like I said, this is his 2nd start since really having a 10-day hiatus from the rotation, trying to calm down a tender elbow. That's an explosive pitch right there. 97, up and away. Grandal cannot catch up.
With 2 away, bases empty for veteran first baseman Adrian Gonzalez. Missed some 9 weeks of the season, and just back in action last night. He had a lumbar disc problem, and that's reflected in Gonzalez's numbers. Only 1 home run this year and 24 runs batted in. He needs 3 hits to reach the 2,000 hit mark.
Looked good swinging the bat last night. Seemed to handle the ball in, middle in better than away.
Two and one.
There's Gonzalez looking. He's in a 2-0 count. You know he's looking fastball, and Fulmer throws it right by him early in the game.
That ball hit well to center. Charging is Jones, and he makes the running catch.
Nice.
1-2-3 inning for Fulmer. Nice play by the rookie Jones. And welcome back, and we're pleased to have this opportunity to return to my homeland, Michigan, as Mario Impemba takes the weekend off, and we're pleased to be back in the Motor City and the great traditions of Tiger baseball. Nick Castellanos leads off for Detroit. And of course, we welcome those around the nation on FS1 as well as Fox Sports Detroit. I grew up hitchhiking into this city just to see my favorite players, both home and away. Castellanos 0-2. Looks like Ryu will throw the old screwball now and then.
I think it's a changeup. It looks like a screwball after he cuts the first one in. So he's trying to speed up the righties inside. Then he's going away, soft away. Nick Castellanos has been very aggressive lately in the number 4 spot behind Miguel.
A ball and 2 strikes to Castellanos. He's 25, first round pick of the Tigers 7 years ago.
He can hit. The average not very high this year, but he's still very young. He's figuring it out. The more contact he makes, obviously the higher and more productive he's going to be. He's been one of the leaders in hard contact percentage throughout the year. Not a lot to show.
Manager Brad Ausmus up the middle and deflected by Ryu, and then under the glove of Seager into center field. Now that ball just didn't want to find leather. Touched to 2 different players, but gets through for a base knock. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. And by Dodge. Join the Brotherhood of Muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance event going on now. So Castellanos with a seeing eye single, leading off here in the second.
Yeah, it looked like a ball took a funny hop on Seager. You know, it used to be a ball up the middle was a base hit all the way, but now with these shifts in defensive positioning, it's not true. But the bad hop gives Nick Castellanos and the Tigers a leadoff single.
Veteran Victor Martinez, the switch hitter, homered last night.
Take a look. That's Chase Utley right there. Usually you get the glove down and come up. It looked like Chase was anticipating the ball coming up, but it did not. It stayed down.
I think Ryu got a piece of it. It may have changed the action on that ball back through the middle. Didn't get much leather on it.
You play day games. Obviously you have the sun to deal with up in the air, and also changes the playing surface. Usually wet these fields down, but they dry out very quickly in the day as it progresses, and the sun bakes it, and you get little foot marks in there, and you don't get the true hops as you would maybe on a night game where you keep the moisture in there and the hops are softer.
Protective swing, and that'll sail out of play.
And this playing surface would be much different than the Dodger Stadium's playing surface. Dodgers usually they have certainly at night there's a lot of moisture in the park, and the grass is much shorter, quicker surface. This park here would be played a little bit slower, and the grass is longer, and probably the dirt a little choppier.
Check swing, and the count remains 2 strikes. Ball carry well at night when you were playing at Dodger Stadium?
If you hit it.
Well, you did.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like anything else. Certain nights, I don't know that you can really figure it out. It carries, and others it doesn't. It's obvious when you see the wind blowing out or the wind blowing in, but sometimes you'll just be sitting there and balls just jump. I think all ballparks are like that. Now, if you're talking about Denver, it always jumps there.
Up the middle could be 2. 1 there, and back to first. Double play. Turned easily, 6-4-3, and that'll bring up James McCann. And if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs, which they did last night, Bring in a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or on the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Upton with a pair of home runs and Martinez with a solo shot as well. All three with the bases empty last night. McCann hitting safely 22 of the last 25 games. 27-year-old from the University of Arkansas. He and the third baseman of the Dodgers, Logan Forsythe, former Razorbacks. Logan, a new Dodger this year as well.
Ryu pumping a 1-0 breaking ball. It's a strike breaking ball, but it's nice and down in the zone. It's what you want. In case somebody is sitting on it, they're going to hit that ball on the ground.
In South Korea, Ryu, 7 years of professional baseball and was an all-star all 7 seasons. And migrated to Los Angeles to play in our major leagues.
Yeah, he competes.
Yeah, a good wind won't blow him off the mound, that's for certain. He's 255-pounder. "30 years of age now." There you have it. Up the middle, ranging behind the bag is Utley and makes a veteran's play. On to the third in Detroit at Comerica. No score. You see young Bellinger going over his hands and his batting stance, and Logan Forsythe starts things here for the Dodgers in the third, followed by Chase Utley, then the leadoff hitter Chris Taylor. It's time for the AT&T reliability stat of the game, and it's Michael Fulmer. His last 4 home starts, a solid 3-1, ERA at 2.48. Opponents hitting only 191 in the last 4 games here at Comerica.
Only 2 walks.
Back to the mound. The comebacker fielded by Fulmer, and the plumber from Oklahoma City makes the play. Fulmer in the offseason, proud of his plumbing work down there in Oklahoma.
I have to give him a call because I don't like plumbing at all.
He says there are 3 rules. 1, payday every Friday. 2, never bite your fingernails. And 3, everything flows downhill. Now there's your primer on plumbing from Fulmer himself.
Fulmer and Sons, isn't it?
Here's the American League Rookie of the Year last year, and proud to talk about his avocation. Veteran Utley, Chase Utley. Some were surprised. Utley, in the twilight of a great career, would continue on as a Dodger, but his value is more than on the field. He is a great clubhouse influence. Career .277 hitter. He, like his manager, went to UCLA. Dave Roberts, also a former Bruin.
Remember when we scouted when I was with Arizona to Chase Utley, and one time it showed that he hit like a little dribbler in front of the plate, and he actually ran out of the baseline and jumped up, hoping the ball would hit him in the back of the head.
Ripped into right field for a base hit. So Utley has the first Dodger knock. A 1-out single, and that'll bring up the leadoff man, Chris Taylor.
Yeah, this is an 0-2 pitch right here. Didn't get it where he wanted to get it. It's kind of right down inner third of the plate. And Utley likes that up top like that. He is a grinder and a battler. He's not going to pull off. Solid single on the 0-2 count.
And here's Taylor. He walked to lead off the ball game. Can play just about every outfield and infield position. His versatility, one of his many strengths. And a looper to the second baseman. That's going to be a double play as Utley was running on the pitch. You don't get him much easier than that. The double play for the home side, and we're going to be talking with manager Dave Roberts, the manager of the year in the National League a season ago, when we come back. Stock in your wildest imaginations. Could you imagine your team this far above 500 late in August?
I'd like to say yes, Dick, but absolutely not. We're playing good baseball. Got a lot of good players.
Well, that's for certain. And, you know, the opposing team, where do you find a weakness here? And then you pick up a Curtis Granderson.
I know. I guess it's a what do they say? An embarrassment of riches, as they say. Yeah, Grandy's a great pro, and have him add to our depth. What a player!
Now, you know, you visited my wine cellar back when you were with the with the Padres, and you have the Red Stitch wine. And you know what? There must be the delivery guy is taking them, because I haven't received my supply this year.
Hey, well, I've been in your cellar, Dick, and you're well stocked up. But enjoying a glass of wine is always a treat. And now we're talking baseball, wine, food, nothing better. And to have you back in the booth, Dick, what a treat.
Congratulations on your season and your Manager Year of the Year award last year.
Absolutely, Dick. Thank you. Tell Gibby I said hello.
Yeah, sorry, Gibby didn't give you a chance to come in there. You know that Dave, that Red Stitch wine, he makes a beautiful Pinot, and his wife Trish is taken the classes and tested to be a sommelier. I mean, it's a family that knows good vino. I know you enjoy a glass of red now and then.
Oh, of course, especially the good stuff.
And that ball pulled behind third. Turner with foresight. The long throw not in time. And Jacoby Jones into the starting lineup. He was a starter opening day and had trouble with the bat. Went down to Toledo. They've called him back up, and there with his speed able to leg out that ball pulled behind third.
Yeah, good job. He does have good speed, and Turner made a good play right here. Got up and threw a bullet over there. And I don't know, as the Dodgers are thinking about challenging this, he come off the bag.
Oh, that's close. Omar Vizquel, the first base coach for the Tigers, trying to help out umpire Chris Siegel.
Tell you, that's a great pick by Adrian Gonzalez, isn't it? They're gonna call for it.
So they'll go to the replay here back in New York and decide from that angle. It was tough to see if the ball had disappeared in the glove of Gonzalez as Jones hit first base.
Yeah, I don't think it's when it touches it, it's when it gets into the pocket. Now they'll start showing these up on the scoreboard as well. Look, this view looks like he might be out. The other view, I thought he could be safe.
Really tough to tell.
Of course, you've got two trucks over here. Let's see what we got right here. There it looks like he's safe. It's not in the glove all the way. I'm going to say that they're going to leave it the way it is.
You know, it has to be clear evidence that to overturn the call on the field, and I'm not sure there's enough to do that.
I think it's clear and convincing is the language.
And for young Jones to come back into the starting lineup from the minor leagues, saying, come on now, I'd like to get this base hit.
So they'll either say confirmed, stands, yep, it stands, or overturned. So to have it overturned, it's got to be clear and convincing evidence that the call on the field was incorrect.
So full credit to first base umpire Siegel. Now we replayed and you saw how tough it was, and yet he was right.
Yeah, we've got it in super slow-mo, and it's even hard for us to tell.
And it only took a matter of 80 seconds to make that decision. So a leadoff hit for Jones. Here's Jose Iglesias, the shortstop, hitting ninth. Jones has base stealing speed, but be careful. Ryu has a clever move over there. That wasn't his best.
Got the old step off.
Quick to the plate.
I know this is one of the things of focus as the Tigers have gone through their minor league system, is getting their people with the ability to steal to focus on technique and when not to go. Jacoby is one of those players. He has good speed, he has good instincts, he's not afraid. But get to the big leagues, they're pretty good at preventing it as well, so you really have to do your homework, confirm the things that you've prepared for before the game, before you go, because stolen bases are great if you make it. You want to make outs on the bases. You have the thing called the run matrix. It will tell you what percentage a chance you have of scoring a run. So a man on first, say it's if you don't bunt, you don't steal, nothing, you have X percentage. If you steal, obviously when you get to second base, you have a higher percentage of chance to score. Third base, obviously, with less than 2 outs, more as well. So the reward has to outweigh the risk.
Outside, 2-1, and the very presence of the base runner Jones and a threat to steal, and you can see Ryu really hurrying his delivery to the plate. In your youth, were you a threat as a base stealer?
Oh yeah, I was the threat. Old, I think I could still steal. That's just my mentality.
You could still go out there and steal a bag?
I'd probably blow out, but I said I think I could. I was an 80% stolen base guy in my career.
What was your top season?
Mid 35 or so.
With power.
That was with the Dodgers, and our championship year. I think I was pretty lucky that year. But it's fun. It's fun when you get out there, and of course you want to try and help your team.
That's 1988.
That was 88 when the Dodgers won the World Series, and in 84 the Tigers won the World Series. That's what everybody on this field should be playing for, to be the best.
How about that, Kirk Gibson? The World Series ring from both teams. Tigers here, and then with the Dodgers, and of course that historic 88 series home run against Cleveland. Iglesias lifts it to right center, fairly deep. Taylor's there. And Jones back to first base. One away, and the leadoff hitter, Ian Kinsler, comes up. Here's what we were talking about. We do a show back in San Diego called A Cup of Coffee. In this case, it was coffee, but we later had a glass of wine. And that's my favorite room back there in San Diego. And Doc knows his wine, and maybe his wife is even better informed than him. He's a very interesting man.
Yes, he is, and doing a fine job. Was well prepared. Was the first base coach with San Diego, then the bench coach. Dodgers did a fine job of getting a fine manager. And in his second year, having a historic season. Now I say that it's great so far, but I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. Sparky used to always tell us, you got to finish it out, or it takes something away. It doesn't taint it, but it takes something away.
You want your winning streaks in October. And it does shock some fans that the Dodgers, with all their talent and all their good teams in the last almost 30 years, they haven't won the World Series since your 1988 season.
Tigers have not won since '84 as well. But we're cheering, and hopefully both of them will get off the schneid, get back into the winner's circle.
A ball and a strike now to Kinsler, who walked his first time. Yasiel Puig not in the starting lineup today. Four-time All-Star Kinsler, solid player. Makes you throw strikes. Boy, I can't wait to go through puberty and grow a beard like that.
Red like that too?
Red, why not red?
Look good on you, Dick.
You know, if I could do that, I'd weave my hair into my beard to make it all one piece.
You'd think it'd be a little hot, but that's what he likes. He's a gamer deluxe, and who's going to tell him differently?
Kinsler will foul off a lot of good pitches, and there's a value in that too for a leadoff man to, spoil 3, 4, 5 tosses. They all count when you get into the middle late innings, and you give your teammates a chance to do some homework on the stuff of Ryu. And he takes low in another full count. He walked on a 3-2 pitch in the first inning.
Is he going? Dodgers, most pitchers don't like to throw over their 3-2.
No, ball 4. So Kinsler back-to-back walks. That pushes Jones into scoring position and brings up Matuk with Upton to follow. Now it's time for the Bernstein advantage. And Mikey Matuk has had excellent luck in interleague play. Not that many exposures, but 13 for 38 spells a 342 mark.
Well, Mikey's really come out of nowhere in the second half of the season. Pretty much a role-filling player early in the first half, and has patiently waited for his opportunity, changed his swing somewhat, his stance and his setup, and now that he's had the opportunity, has excelled. And the Tigers are excited about what they see.
Pretty good pitch, but misses.
Ball broke a little bit down and out of the zone.
Speedy Jones at second, Kinsler at first. 1 out. No score here in the bottom of the third in Detroit.
So if you're on a base runner right here, you got Kinsler. He's thinking about getting down here and trying to break up that double play. If you look where Adrian Gonzalez is playing, you can get off that far. Gonzalez, so I will tell you, he will sneak in behind you, so you got to rely on this guy right here, Omar Vizquel. Always used to like the base runner, the base coach, to say nothing unless there was trouble.
High fly ball left center. Taylor into the gap. Runner's tag. And here comes Jones to third, and he'll make it, and moving to second is Kinsler. So as soon as Kinsler saw that throw going over the cutoff man's head, he said, I'll take an extra bag. So 2 men in scoring position for Justin Upton.
Now here's an interesting play. Here's a different, I'm just going to offer you a different play here. They threw the ball to third. You got 2 guys tagging. This guy's going to read. He reads the lead runner. He's going to go back. The throw's coming into third base. That allows the trail runner to advance to second. So now you got 2 guys in scoring position early in the game. Sparky always taught us, throw that ball to second base, prevent the guy from advancing from second. That way, if they get a single, you've prevented 1 run. That makes sense?
It certainly does. And in this case, I'm not sure the Dodger dugout was pleased with Taylor's decision. Brings up the most productive hitter in the lineup for the Tigers. Leads in home runs, 25. He's second in the American League in RBIs with 88. He's got 2 sitting out there with a base hit right now if he can deliver.
I'm not saying my way is right. It's the way I was taught, and merely offering it as a different way to handle that situation.
And with first base open, we'll see if this is a pitch around. Ryu goes 2-0 now to Upton. Mickey Cabrera on deck.
Tough as a hitter because you're aware there's a little bird in the back of your mind saying he might pitch around me, but you still got to force yourself to see the ball, see the pitch, get a good pitch.
Ball 3.
Now, most of the time, if you want to intentionally walk, now you just tell him to go to first. But sometimes you're a manager, you think about it, but you leave it up to your pitcher because they're the ones who have the conviction or not. And the baseball.
90 on the fastball for a strike, 3-1. That was the 25th pitch of the inning from Ryu.
Yeah, he's got 57 pitches already. Here in the bottom of the third.
Ball 4. The second walk of the inning, and the bases are loaded with Tigers. And it's up to the veteran Miggy Cabrera. brings a career total of 459 home runs to the plate.
Well, Mickey last time on a 1-0 count flew out to center field on a cutter. One of Ryu's favorite pitches. There are the runners: Jones, Kinsler, and JF.
Talk to Brad Ausmus about Cabrera and the fact that he's had his numbers with the bases loaded are flattering, aren't they? 4 grand slams, 376, and he said that in all the statistics they keep, that he's hit the ball hard for outs all season long. That's part of the problem. And a strike one on the first pitch from Ryu. And sometimes you have seasons like that where they just don't fall for you.
You really do, and you go home and you try and fix it every night. You go home disappointed. Sometimes it just takes an off season.
On the corner, 0-2. Michael Fulmer looking for some run support. In his great career, he's been an excellent 2-strike hitter. Not this time. Goes after a pitch out of the zone, and the Tigers leave him loaded. We've completed 3. The Tiger great shortstop Alan Trammell will join us, and we return to Comerica in Detroit. Corey Seager leads off the Dodger 4th inning, and a weak swing there. And that takes the count to 1-1. Seager safe on a fielder's choice in the first inning after his National League Rookie of the Year season last year. Continues on a 300 pace, hitting .310. That ball ripped off Fulmer, picked up by Castellanos over to first, and not in time. That would have been a difficult 1-5-3 play, and Seager runs too well.
Well, I think that Fulmer stuck his foot out intentionally to try and stop this ball. You could hear it hit his foot, and Nick tries to go over there barehanded and make a quick throw.
Just did beat it.
You're going to see Fulmer stick his foot out. Pretty good hacky sack moves right there. They've been out, they've checked him, and he's okay.
Anything to prevent a base hit, and sometimes that can be costly. Certainly, we talked about it last night. And pitchers instinctively go on that comebacker with their bare hand, and the next thing you know, they're sitting on the pine DL. Justin Turner fly to center, first at bat. And takes a strike as Alan Trammell joins us. A great shortstop here with Detroit through the years. It's a wonder that he's not in the Hall of Fame, but maybe that'll still happen. You know, you've got a lot of people pulling for you, and he's now a special assistant to the general manager, and you've made it now. The bobblehead is yours, huh?
See, overwhelming. And there's my buddy. I'm just waiting for him to say something. He's going to be nice. Be nice.
Let's see. Let's look and see. Does it look like you? Hey,
there's the fiddle.
Maybe a little improvement.
There's
I don't
the
know.
fiddle.
Might make me look better.
Oh, he is. Well, that's what happens when you know somebody for as long as we have there, Dick. And
anything goes.
Good times and some tough times, but we had a lot of good times together.
Right there. I can't hold it. My Parky's shaking you. I'm sorry.
Well, it's my head bobbing.
Well, Alan's a proud product of San Diego. Many fans there, and of course beloved here in Detroit. That combination of Trammell and Whitaker up the middle for the Tigers, what, like 20 seasons, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah, 19, and we actually played 1 year together in the minor leagues. And gosh, the story, really, when you get older, I think you appreciate things more. And we were just doing our job, but my gosh, what a fellow to play with. What a great player who does not get the recognition he deserves.
Now that's right on cue.
There you go.
That would be like Trammell to Whitaker. Who was your first baseman for most of those years?
Well, we had Darrell Evans, started off with Jason Thompson, Dave Bergman. Normally we hit him right in the chest, Dick.
How about was Rusty over there early?
No, Rusty was not.
Oh, he's in the outfield?
Yeah, he was the outfielder DH when we first came up in the mid-70s. But wow, it's hard to believe how time flies, and now that the new role that I have.
Yeah, what is that, Vice President?
It's assistant to the general manager. I'm another set of eyes and ears, and again, I'm gonna speak for Gib here, because we were brought up by one of the masters of the game, Sparky Anderson, and really what I'm doing now is continuing the legacy and passing the torch to helping our young players learn to play the game right. You know, people say, "Oh, the game's changed." The game has changed because the athletes in all sports are bigger, stronger, faster, but the game is still the same.
Yes,
you still have to play it. You have to execute certain situations at certain situations. And that's what I'm trying to get across, that part never changes and never will, and they've allowed me to be able to spread the word, and that's what I'm trying to do. But you can tell that there was the master. He was pretty good, and
Sparky Anderson.
Sparky Anderson. He taught us well, and I'm so appreciative that our lives crossed, because he was the man that really taught us how to do it.
They retired his number, of course, here in Detroit, number 11. Great character too. And you know, you said something very important as we enjoy this game on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, that baseball is generational, that, you know, it hasn't changed that much. My great-grandfather could come in and he wouldn't miss a beat here. He'd know what was going on. That's a strikeout for Fulmer. Can you stay for another inning?
Absolutely.
All right. That'll be our pleasure. No score in Detroit. Side, no score as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Nick Castellanos will lead it off for Detroit, followed by Martinez and McCann. Chops one toward the mound. Ryu, big guy, but he can pounce off that rubber, and a good fielding pitcher. One away.
So you guys are having some fun in the middle of the inning, huh? You want to go ahead and get into that?
Well, Alan was saying that he's waiting to get chopped up by my partner.
We spar a little bit.
Yeah, got a white shirt on.
Gibson could be a little tough, and so last year I did one game with Gibson, and a writer for the local paper in Detroit asked me what I thought of him, and I think I was misquoted there, that he was had a rouge back end or something like that. In baseball terms, just a tough guy and a guy you want to have on your club.
Wait a minute. Let's be honest. We're a guy maybe went a little too far now and then, but I'm here to tell you I was happy to be that guy. And Tram knows. I mean, there was a day when Sparky said the boys are a little tight here in the clubhouse. We had lost several in a row. Why don't you do something foolish? So I did. And I took a lot from the media, but guess what? We started winning and everybody else would relax. That was his philosophy. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
No. Again, I mentioned the master. There's a lot of good ones, but none better in our opinion. And he did it in so many different ways, and we got learned a lot of lessons, Dick. Obviously, there's a lot of one-on-one with Gibby and Sparky, myself and Sparky. He taught me so much about the game, and again, I'm repeating myself, but it bears repeating because it's something that's worked, and I stand by that.
And it echoes all the way down to the Ohio River, and the Cincinnati Reds players say the very same thing, don't they?
Yes, the big red machine.
If you look at it, let's talk about the current teams right now. Who's going to buy in? That's the key. And Sparky got us to buy in, and we were fortunate to win one World Series. Hopefully we would have won another, but we didn't. And Doc Roberts trying to get his guys to buy in. Brad Osmus trying to get his guys to buy in. And ultimately, you can't just say it's the player's job to do it. It's not. And you have to convince, because there's a comfort zone. And you sometimes you're comfortable doing the wrong thing on the field, but you need somebody to be a motivator and get you to do it for the right of the team.
Popped up by Martinez, right side. Utley angles behind Gonzalez. He's got the ball there in shallow right field for the second out. To that point, and of course Gibby is a manager, you know it well. What a bonus it is when, as a manager, you have one. You're lucky maybe if you have one, but if you have 2 or 3 veterans in that clubhouse who get the job done for you, so it's not always coming to the manager's office. They take care of business themselves. Who was that on your Tiger team?
Well, we had a group, and in 1984, going into that season, we picked up Darrell Evans, and he was our Willie Stargell Pops. He was kind of one of the final pieces to that puzzle. But obviously we had some experience. We had been playing for a few years. So Gibby was one, I was one. Lou was quiet, but he played every day. Chet Lemon was out there. Jack Morris, he was another one that you would put in with Gibby's class that he showed emotion. Oh, Lance Parrish, the big wheel. He probably was the big guy, other than Darrell, to be honest with you, just with his stature and his size. But we had a group of guys, Dick, that got it done, that policed it. So Sparky set the tone, but he kind of understood that he was hoping that we would do just like Gibby was saying, and we policed ourselves. And certainly that's a great way to do it. To me, it's the best way to do it.
Yeah, you didn't get away with much in that clubhouse. It's what you wish for. You might think you'd sneak out of there scot-free, but you can confront somebody. I remember Tramp telling me, I was wrong, and as much as I didn't want to admit it, I had to sit there and take it as his friend, and he'd say, I want to be on your side, but I can't, and you need to apologize.
3-0 is in there. It spins one up there at 70 miles an hour. I look out at Chase Utley there. That's what he brings to the Dodger clubhouse, and we lost one of the best ever that I saw with the Angels, Don Baylor. Boy, could he control that clubhouse.
Oh my gosh. We were fortunate in Arizona to have him on Gibby's staff, and I knew him from playing against him, but when he was with us on our side, my gosh, what a man, and what a gentleman, but a tough guy. And back in our day, again, you hate to keep going back, but the days and the rules were a little different. But he would come after. If you were a middle infielder, boy, you knew Don Bailey was coming in, because he was there for a reason. He was going to try to break it up clean, but aggressive.
McCann thought he had ball 4, but you could see on Fox Tracks that was a good low strike, and it remains 3-2.
Yeah, Donnie Baylor was very tough when he fought his disease. He was really tough through that. You'd never know. He never complained about it, but he was like a gentle giant, though, really. And you know, you play against people, you compete against them, then you get to know them. It's really one of the special things about it.
And there is the ball 4, the third walk given up by Ryu with 2 outs to bring up Jacoby Jones.
Well, Tram, you've been down in Toledo. You watched Jacoby. What do you see in his development?
Well, he definitely can play center field, as we saw earlier in the game, with his speed and his athleticism, and that's what we knew. And it's just the bat. And as we all can attest, who played in the major leagues, that hitting is a very difficult craft to do and to get it on a consistent basis. So any player can do it on occasion, but you need to be consistent. So he still has some work to do. He's still trying to figure it all out, but love the body of work, and we're hoping that he's going to be a piece as we move forward, because there's no question we're going through a transition right now.
You came to the bigs at 19. How long before you finally said, you know, I think I can hit this pitching?
Well, somebody during the course of this day, somebody was asking and kind of going over my career. In 1980, I made the All-Star team for the first time. So that was 3 years into my career. My gosh, so it took some time. I had some ups and downs, but that year, the third year, was really the year that I kind of took off. But it took a while.
1-1 now to Jones, and he takes a strike. It's a game of failure. You fail 7 out of 10 times, and you might make it to the Hall of Fame. Huh? And by the way, a lot of folks rooting for you as you go for the Veterans Committee vote. Very deserving, this man, Alan Trammell.
Yes, he is, and I know he believes that he'd like to see Lou go in as well.
Swing and a miss. May have gotten a foul tip, and that's it for the Tigers in the 4th. Alan, always a pleasure. Keep up the good work.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Fiddler.
All right, Gib. See you down the road, guys. Thank you.
You bet. On Fox Sports Detroit and FS1, brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service everybody needs, a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet. Go for thrilling drives and deals at the Chevy Summer Drive. Chevrolet. Find new roads. Dick Enberg with Kirk Gibson at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. And here's Curtis Granderson, his second at bat as a Dodger. His first time up, grounded sharply to second. Off a 19 home run season with the New York Metropolitans.
I know many might say, why did they go get Curtis Granderson? And the answer to that is Jock Peterson had struggled this year, and they really were not comfortable with where they thought he was headed this year, and they wanted to send him down to get some more, I don't know if you want to call it more seasoning, but to work some things out. And Curtis Granderson was available, obviously a veteran guy, can do a lot of things. Another grinder, fits right into this ball club after the way we watched them play last night, Dick. And you know, many general managers feel that veteran guys plugged into the right situation can put you over the top.
Center field, Jones retreats and makes the play. So he's hit the ball hard, Granderson, both times for outs, and that'll bring up Yasmani Grandal.
Well, they usually say from the dugout, nice swing, huh?
Yeah, that helps a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's frustrating when you're a hitter and you just hit the ball solid. But if you think about a hitter, you have to control your mind in this game, because it can frustrate. You can hit the ball good and make an out, and it gets frustrated. And if you let it get to you, it turns into a slump. But if you can store that as a good at bat, like you hit the ball good, it was a good at bat, he didn't swing at a bad pitch. If you can store that in your mind as a success, now you're in much better position to succeed your next time up.
Nubbed out to the mound, and an easy play for Fulmer, and there's 2 away. Grandal out, and that'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez. Trevor, what do you have for us?
Well, we were talking about Curtis Granderson, and they had a 2-hour rain delay in the Mets game last night, so that got pushed back. Following the game, that's when he was told he was traded to the Dodgers. Said he got home, got to bed around 3, got a 6:30 flight to Detroit, got here around 9, found out he was in the lineup in his very first game as a Dodger, and you can't even draw it up like this. He faces the team that drafted him and plays left field here at Comerica Park, so where he is so very familiar with the territory out there. But a whirlwind 24 hours for Curtis Granderson to becoming a Dodger and coming back to face his old team, Dick.
Yeah, thank you, Trevor. And to join a team that is just historic in its performance thus far. Winning 51 of the last 60 games. They've lost 9 times in 60 games. They've won 5 in a row. In the last 23, they've only lost 3. I mean, they're hot on hot. Gonzalez line to center his first time. Ripped right at the second baseman Kinsler. Another line out for Gonzalez. Well, there you go. You go back to the dugout. I hit it well. Just can't get it away from the leather. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Jose Iglesias hitting out of the 9th spot, leads off the Tiger 5th inning. Only a couple of singles for each side as the pitchers have dominated. Hyunjin Ryu for the Dodgers and Michael Fulmer for the Tigers. High fly ball off third. Turner waiting for it to come down. Or Forsythe rather. Turner also the third baseman, but as the way Doc Roberts juggles his lineup, Turner the DH today. Menards brings you the big money encounter. Dodger pitching this season. That's the story. Look at that ERA. 3.12 as a team. They're first in wins. ERA, whip, and opposing hitters batting only .225. That'll win you a lot of games.
Yeah, first in all categories, and Rick Honeycutt has done a great job since he's been over with the Dodgers for I don't know how many years, many. And you know, Dodger Stadium is a good place to pitch for pitchers, but they pitch well on the road as well.
There's Clayton Kershaw. We talked to him yesterday, and he's building back in shape from that back injury. There's a bullet into the left field corner. That's going all the way to the wall, and Kinsler's on his way to second and will hold there as Granderson gets it in. The first extra base hit. The leadoff man, Ian Kinsler, and the Tigers threaten here in the bottom of the 5th.
Ian's been swinging the bat much better here as of late. The ball's inside. That's why you see him trying to throw him away usually. He leans on this, barrels it up. Granderson can only just pick it up and hold Kinsler to a 1-out double.
That'll give Matuk and Upton a chance to put a run on the board for Detroit. Matuk fouled out and fly to center so far. Certainly one of the bright spots, this young man, in a disappointing season for the Tigers. There's that big breaking ball at 69.
Ryu did the same thing to Cabrera with the runner in scoring position. Stripling, the right-handed pitcher, Dodger, warming up in the pen.
Ross Stripling, one of the many talented young arms for the Dodgers. They have strength there as well in the bullpen, something that has betrayed Detroit through the year. Pulled to the left side. Runner has to hold. Across from Seager to Gonzalez for the second out. Now here's Upton. And here's Chevrolet's most dependable player. Most dependable since the All-Star break. Joey Gallo, look at that, 1,084, and Upton at 1,080, the OPS on base plus slugging. Upton's slugging percentage .545, 9th in the league. A single would do just fine for the Tigers right here, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would. Ian Kinsler, you got 2 outs. You're pretty much going on the swing of the bat. You don't have to read the ball if it's a line drive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You read the pitch. You're on your way if you know it's in the strike zone.
And the shadows become a part of the late afternoon activity as we approach 5:30 Eastern time at the far end, the western end of the Eastern time zone. Bluffed by Grandal, but Kinsler was not that far off the bag and no one was ducking in behind him.
Got to be careful if you're a base runner. You want to get that secondary lead, but you want to make sure you can score on a base hit. But it does leave you a little bit vulnerable to the back pick.
Foul tip.
Ryu throwing a lot of garbage to Jay Up. You can see Jay Up's way out front. Been hitting a lot of fastballs, a lot of hard sliders. Today Ryu has moved his feet inside with the slider and the cutter. change-ups away and the high fastballs.
Got him looking, as Ernie Harwell would say, like a house on the side of the road. No score after 5. So it's Michael Fulmer and Hyunjin Ryu matching pitches here as we go to the 6th inning. Pitchers duel. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits for the home side. Ryu mopping off as he watches Logan Forsythe get things started here in the 6th. Check swing goes around. Got a piece of it. Forsythe tapped to the mound his first time. Still got the velocity at 95. Yes, strike 3 called, and that's the 2nd strikeout for Fulmer. Make that his 3rd.
Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Michael Fulmer today outstanding, coming off a poor start, his last start, but today he's got all of his pitches working. He's got the fastball explosive. You see the run on there, the slider, the curveball. Has the Los Angeles Dodgers hitters totally off balance. Got the double play when he needed it. And so far is showing that he's much more comfortable on the mound in his 2nd start from the brief break that he got out of the rotation.
Chase Utley has one of the 2 Dodger hits, lined a single to right. Now 38 years of age, the 6-time All-Star. Hit to center field, retreat Jones to make the play, 2 away. MLB wants to see your best plays this summer, whether they're in the backyard or on the diamond. Show us what you've got on social media with hashtag MLBThePlay, and we'll feature some of the best all season long. 2 quick outs, so Taylor takes his time arriving at the batter's box. He has walked and hit a soft fly ball that became a double play as the runner Utley was engaged in a hit and run. It was already to second base by the time the ball was caught by second baseman Kinsler.
Taylor taking his time, like you said, the 2 quick outs, recognizing he wants to give his pitcher some time to get some rest between innings. Just kind of want to slow things down. Also, Michael Fulmer on a roll right now, just trying to disrupt that rhythm. Chris Taylor started in the minors this year. Logan Forsythe broke his toe and he came up and is not disappointed. A monster year for the Dodgers.
Bounces that one, 2-1. Fulmer acquired from the Mets midseason 2 years ago. Yoenis Cespedes going to New York. Oh, that got him.
That one got away. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. I think that got into the rib cage. Ball was tailing. 2 down. We'll have to keep an eye. Taylor has 14 steals. That was not the glove. You heard it hit.
Here's the shot. You'll see exactly right on the red number 3 on the front of his uniform.
Had to somewhat knock the wind out of him.
Not a lot of protection there.
As a hitter, you try and turn away from the pitches, but that pitch there, you got 2 strikes. You're telling yourself to hang in there. Then he turns it over, and you maybe expect it to go away from you, and that one tails in, and it's got you.
So Seager with 2 outs and Taylor at first. Infield hit the last time up. You know, you see the number there worn by Taylor, number 3, and you know, numbers kind of, you through the years as a baseball fan, you associate a number with a team, and of course the 3 with the Dodgers was the 3 dog, Willie Davis, back in yesteryear.
Here it was Alan Trammell.
Late on the swing, 96 on that fastball. Stay tuned, folks, to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites being served all day. One and one. Speaking of numbers, there's the story behind the number worn by manager Dave Roberts of the Dodgers. He wears number 30. All right, Kirk, 30 Dodger uniform. Who comes to mind for you?
I don't know. You got me on that.
Maury Wills.
Maury Wills,
And
base stealer. That makes sense for Doc. He'd like to steal bases as well.
And he idolized Wills. That was his hero growing up. And so when he came to the Dodgers, he asked if that was available. Surprisingly, the Dodgers have not retired Wills' number. So Doc wears that with great pride, and it connects him with his idol growing up.
Well, Doc had some big stolen bases in his career. Brought his team Boston out of it with a big steal, scored a run.
That was huge, that steal. Seager lifts that off the third base side foul.
Michael Fulmer now up to 72 pitches only here through 5 2/3 innings. Pretty good shape.
Yeah, this is the pitcher that drew all those votes for Rookie of the Year last year when he went 11-7 with an ERA just over 3. Fouled off the front foot of Seager.
Boys are getting beat up. One of the hazards of being a hitter. Gets that ball off the bat, right off the foot. These things accumulate over a year. Now we're in the mid-August right now. Playing every day. See, that's right off the ankle bone, the arch, the instep. Just got to get back in there and hope it goes away.
Struck him out. Fulmer continues a strong ride. Here come the Tigers. No score. And welcome back on this beautiful Saturday. And here's our Comerica Bank game summary, and it features the starting pitching. Ryu, 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, and Michael Fulmer, an inning better, has gone 6, allowing just 2 base hits in this scoreless tie. And pitching change for the Dodgers as Ross Stripling comes in, the right-hander.
Yeah, Ryu's pitch count got up. Stripling coming in. 33 games so far. This is his 34th. You can see the ERA. 55 strikeouts, only 12 walks. Power pitcher.
Cabrera will start it for the Tigers. The middle 3 of their batting order: Cabrera, Castellanos, and Martinez to hit against Stripling. Cabrera's fly to center and struck out. One and one.
Lots of sliders. Fastball around 93. Sliders a little about 88. Curveball and an occasional change.
Started 14 games last year for the Dodgers, did Stripling in his rookie year. College ball at Texas A&M. Fifth-round pick of the Dodgers 5 years ago.
Just looking at this game here, tie game as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 5 hits total by both teams. Now it's going to come down to the bullpens, but you also got to just think about the fundamentals of the game. You got to make the plays. Be ready. You got to know where you got to go with the ball when it comes to you. And don't try and rush anything and make a great play and compound a problem.
Cabrera works the count full. Castellanos waiting his turn.
Lots of sliders on 3-2. Sliders and breaking balls.
Foul tip, strike 3.
That was a hanger, too, for him.
Time now for a game break. Here's John Keating.
All right, Dick, and it's brought to you by Dodge with Rod Allen. The Tigers aren't disappointed to have Ryu out of the game. They couldn't solve him, Rod.
Well, he does today what he has been doing entire season. He worked all 4 quadrants of the strike zone with his fastball, got up to 93. He didn't make any mistakes over the heart of the plate. Lots of backdoor breaking balls as well. And his catcher also stole a couple of really nice pitches off the plate for him. But give him some credit. He kept the Tigers off balance, got the ground ball double play as well when he needed to get one.
And now he's 2-0 in his last 8 starts. Back upstairs to Dick and Gibby.
All right, gentlemen. One away to Castellanos. And he takes strike 1.
Stripling just pounded that target right there. See, the target was set by Grandal. Didn't even move his glove. Hitting your target is such a clutch thing that you have to do. Now he's moving away. Look at right there. If you're a manager, you're looking at this, and as later you see that start to evolve, and they're missing that. You're trying to make a decision. Do I leave him in? Do I take him out? You got to have a baseline. How did he start so far today, Stripling? Very sharp on his location.
Just misses there. 1-2. Fly ball to right, hit well to the warning track and at the wall. The catch made by Bellinger, and he caught an ankle as he made that play and comes up favoring that right ankle.
Looks like that cleat may have got stuck in the track. It's kind of a funny step that he take there. Just twisted his ankle a little bit. Thought he was closer to the wall than he was.
Yeah, an awkward step there as he hit the warning track.
Doc Roberts on the way out. He might be coming out of the game. It's the knee or the ankle. Things are gone so well for the Dodgers this year so far. These are the types of things that can start sending it the other way.
Yeah, just guessing here, Kirk. It looks as if the young outfielder is campaigning to stay in, which is, you know, admirable, but maybe not wise, considering what he's meant to this team this year. Yasiel Puig, obvious replacement at the ready. We have a moment. Let's remind you that Play Ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. To learn more, go to playball.org. Bellinger stays in right field.
Yeah, they'll know later, or when sometimes you wake up from those tomorrow, and they're a little more prevalent than you thought they would be, so they'll get ice on that. We'll see if he makes it through the inning, and then whether he comes out to finish the game.
Continues to walk it off there in right with 2 outs. And Victor Martinez steps in, grounded into a double play and popped to second.
You just kind of look at managerial moves. Brought the right-hander in, did Doc Roberts, to face all the righties. Kind of look down at the splits. Miggy is certainly better against lefties. Castellanos, Victor is less against righties, so that's a pretty easy decision. Looking ahead to Brad Ausmus, got some reverse splits for the Dodgers. Taylor better against the lefty. He's a righty. Seager is better against lefty, so that's a reverse split, lefty and lefty. And if he got Yasiel Puig, if he was going to pitch hit, he's better against righties. It's another reverse split. And reverse split means something that normally a right-handed hitter would be better against a left-handed pitcher. but a reverse split means he's better against right on right.
Yeah, Bellinger is due to hit second in the top of the 7th inning, so you saw Puig grab a stick and go back into the hitting area underneath as Martinez walks. Base runner here with 2 outs for Detroit, and that'll bring up James McCann, the catcher.
Well, the thing that has remained the same as Seager and Bellinger, with Turner in between, Doc Roberts has separated the 2 lefties pretty much all year. So you're probably going to go lefty. If you go lefty with Corey Seager, then Justin Turner hits almost 400. So managers set up their lineups to try and put their opponent in a pickle when they're trying to make those decisions, or they have to burn more than one pitcher to get through that 3 or 4 hitters.
McCann takes strike 1.
Sorry, Dick, if you can do that, then you set yourself up. The longer the game goes on, the less pitchers they have, and advantage you.
Totally, to simplify it, if you can go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, all the way through your lineup, that would be ideal. Not many teams have that kind of roster luxury.
Well, switch hitters, good switch hitters, you know, that they're hard to find as well. That's a good solution.
.93 on the fastball, and Stripling ahead on the count, 1-2.
Yes, his ball's out of the zone. Looked like kind of a funny swing. It looks like McCann pulled something as well, or at least irritated.
And a weak swing, strike 3. So Stripling comes in, strikes out 2 Detroit Tigers, and we're on to the 7th inning. Still no runs on the board. As we enter the 7th inning, and Michael Fulmer will face Turner, Bellinger, or a pinch hitter, and right now Yasiel Puig is in the on deck circle, so they're going to take Bellinger out of the game, get him back in the training room and get some ice on that ankle. Turner is fly to center and grounded out. And there's Puig waiting his turn.
Justin Turner flew out to center field and also was hit into a double play. So far, Michael Fulmer throwing a gem.
Fulmer threw one complete game. It was a shutout last year in August against Texas. Complete games becoming a rarity in our great game.
Yes, everything is predicated on pitch count. They believe that the numbers show the more times a batter sees a pitcher, the higher percentage of chance they have of getting hit or doing damage, hitting a home run. And also for health reasons, they feel that it preserves career.
Right side, Kinsler's there to throw out Turner, one away. Trevor Thompson, what do you have for us?
Well, Dick, behind us, of course, is Ford Field. That's where the Lions will take on the Jets in preseason action just a little bit later on this evening. And that is exactly where you can find Clayton Kershaw. He's going to head to Ford Field to watch his good buddy Matthew Stafford play against the Jets. Now, when these two were growing up, Stafford was Kershaw's catcher in Little League Baseball. Meanwhile, Kershaw was Stafford's center when they played football. Both of those guys, from the little leagues to the big leagues, have had successful careers, and they'll reunite once again here in Detroit after this game between the Tigers and the Dodgers is over.
Thanks, Trevor. Isn't that remarkable? Here are two #1 draft picks in two different sports that grew up together playing both football and baseball.
Wonder if Stafford bought Kershaw the flip downs. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Flip down glasses.
Puig. He sends it foul, and the count 1-1 on Puig, who was in last night's game. There they are. Kershaw on the left and Stafford on the right.
They both got pretty good arms, I can tell you that. Matt Stafford.
And how about the uniform worn by Kershaw? I guess he knew all along, huh? 15-2 this year, but won't be pitching for about a month with the back injury. But he said he's ready to go. He could actually work an inning and two in relief, but he wants to be ready, he said, about September 1st to be back in the rotation.
Yeah, you'd think the Dodgers are thinking long term on this into the postseason, as they have the luxury of doing.
There's some other combination of Stafford and Kershaw. And they switched to the White Sox team in Little League. Maybe that's even Pony League. Puig takes 2-2.
Yeah, see how Puig has made some adjustments, trying to keep his hands from disappearing behind his shoulder too far. He's always been susceptible to the ball inside. So he's trying to get it to you so he has a better angle to the ball on the inside part of the plate and be quicker.
When he first came up about 5 years ago, I was working that game. The Dodgers were playing the Padres. And he takes strike 3. Fulmer continues to pound the strike zone. That's number 5.
Well, he obviously is looking for another pitch and doesn't see this. This comes out nice and hot. Look at it. Run back. It looks like it's going to be outside. Exceptional late movement by Michael Fulmer. Look at this. And Puig's got his bat on his shoulder. That's good stuff.
And that'll bring Curtis Granderson to the plate. Nice reception by the Detroit fans to Granderson on his first at bat. Gave him a very vocal hello. He was quite a star here.
Shifting.
You look back, Kirk, at Granderson's 2007 year in a Tiger uniform. He went 20-20-20-20. 20 home runs, actually 23 triples, 38 doubles, and 26 stolen bases.
That's a year.
Wow.
You remember that one.
That's an oh my. Popped up left side. Who's got it? That's a tough play for Castellanos, and he can't make it. And into second goes Granderson. You could see trouble written all over that one. Into the sun, as well as he was the lone wolf on the left side with the shift employed by the Tigers, and he fought that one like it was spring training.
This is what happens when you get into shifts. We just pointed out there in the shift, and Nick's over there. When this ball goes up, it went up really high. I think it was somewhat in the sun for Nick. The sun's over here. You can see the shadows, so he doesn't pick it up real good. Watch, he takes a look over at Iglesias. Iglesias is one of the better infielders we've ever watched to catch fly balls, pop-ups, and you can see Iglesias pick it up and said, "My bad."
Yeah, he slaps his chest. He could have made the play.
Well, nevertheless, got a man on second. You got to get this guy.
First error of the game charged to Castellanos. So Grandal, this is the first time the Dodgers have had a man in scoring position the entire game.
I know that play's supposed to be made, but it's not as easy as you think. Like I said, it does dead into the sun. The ball was right into the sun. I know Castellanos looked up, did not pick it up, because he looked right over at Iglesias, and it was kind of something after the fact, and you can see the wind is blowing as well. You add that into it. Nobody got a glove on it.
Fulmer then has to battle back and pick up his infielder here with a man in scoring position. 2 strikes.
And it adds pitches. He's at 92 pitches now. So that's what, an extra 3 or 4 pitches so far.
Grandal today a strikeout and a tap out to the mound.
Tell those shadows now. They're over home plate, and it's dark right there, and then the backdrop is a little lighter. So as a hitter, you like it to be all the same color. Looks like a strobe light when it goes through light and dark areas of the field.
96. He's been consistently at that level with the fastball. Michael Fulmer levels the count at 2-2. Granderson on the 2-base error with 2 outs, giving the Dodgers their first serious hope to score.
This is a good job. Now watch James McCann. Look at his shadow right here. Your eyes can see that shadow. So McCann did a good job. You watch him. He's going to hold late. He's not going to give that hitter any advantage to know where it's going.
Way upstairs. A little extra from Fulmer, 97, but well out of the zone.
And you want Grandal. Adrian Gonzalez on deck.
Gonzalez has hit the ball hard twice for outs.
Line to the center fielder and line to the second baseman Kinsler.
Ball 4. Just missed. That's only the second walk from Fulmer all day. The leadoff hitter in the first inning, Taylor, walked. So first and second for Gonzalez, who is lined to center and lined to second. And well, we have a discussion at the mound. A reminder, MLB.com at Bat is your #1 mobile app for live baseball. You stay connected with a fully customized experience. Get club branded home screen icons, app features, as well as game day, live game video, highlights, radio broadcasts, statcast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat today.
It's a good visit right here. Get Michael settled down a little bit. He's probably, as he gets here into the 7th inning, pitchers start to tire a bit. do have action in the Tigers bullpen.
Alex Wilson hurrying with his warm-up.
You got to make a good pitch here. Adrian Gonzalez will be ready to jump this first pitch. It's got to be a quality pitch.
Oh, he had a little extra velocity there for strike one.
He's got a lot of run on his fastball right now. Like it's a two-seam. It's really running away from the left-handed hitters. But Michael's having a little bit of trouble controlling. There's so much life on it right now.
Granderson at second base. Grandal at first base. An error and a walk.
That first pitch was pretty much middle, and Gonzalez did not even flinch. He might have been taking it all the way, but that one was inside. It seems to me he's kind of hunting in rather than away.
Off speed upstairs.
See that ball? He got underneath that.
And the 100th pitch coming up from Michael Fulmer.
25 pitches for this inning. 10 extra since the error by Nick Castellanos.
And that ball hammered to right field. Here comes the runner to the plate, and he will score into third. Safe. So Gonzalez delivers, the veteran. And the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. And the error from third baseman Castellanos is crucial in the inning. Kept it alive, a walk, and then Gonzalez delivers.
Well, Egon, he gets ahead in the count. Real aggressive right here. Just finds a hole right through the first base and second base. He's going to score easy. Nick Castellanos, I believe, might have got caught off the bag a little bit right here on the throw to third on the relay by Miggy. I guess that throw was a little bit offline. Could have had Grandal going into third base.
So Forsythe hitting 8th in the lineup has struck out and tapped to the mound, first and third. And an unearned run for the Dodgers. They're tough enough. You give them a 4th out in an inning and it's costly.
Well, it's disappointing for sure. You get the error and then you give up the hit after a walk. You got to find a way. You had 102 pitches to cut this inning off right here. Tigers are very capable of putting runs on the board, even though the Dodgers have a great bullpen.
Strike two, 1-2. Wilson is ready now if needed. Runner goes. Throw to second. And they've got Gonzalez hung up. Got to keep an eye on the runner at third. Now they go back to third. Not in time. So Gonzalez, who is not a base stealing threat. Doc Roberts gets him running, hoping they could pull off a double steal. He did his part in forcing the throw back to third, but not in time to get Grandal. Couldn't play that any better, could you, if you were the Dodgers?
Well, they got away with it, actually. You get a guy in a rundown like that, you want to try and get an out of it. But you see Kinsler wants to make sure that run doesn't score. He peels off Gonzalez. Grandal is in there easily. So didn't get it out, but he didn't score a run.
2-2 the count. Forsythe swings and misses, strike three. So Fulmer Bad luck for the right-hander pitching a great game. An unearned run. The Dodgers lead 1-0. Coming up, the McLaren Health Plan 7th inning stretch. Time for the unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. How about Charlie Blackmon? What a season he's having with the Rockies. Another leadoff home run, the 22nd since 2015. Albert Pujols, 609 home runs now, tying Sammy Sosa, number 8 all time, and the most among players born outside the U.S. And 58 homers hit yesterday, 3 here by the Tigers, second most in a single day in Major League history, going back to 2002 for the most. So the Tigers down on an unearned run, 1-0, and go to work against Stripling. Ross Stripling, second inning. It's his game to win, and Puig takes over in right field as expected for Bellinger.
If you're the Tigers, you got to remember Puig's got a pretty amazing arm, so you got to make sure you can make it if you're trying to advance.
Alex Presley batting for Jones.
Brad's going with the left-right splits. Jacoby better against the lefty, Presley against the righty.
Presley, then Iglesias, and the leadoff man Kinsler here in the bottom of the 7th.
Something about Stripling's fastball. A lot of Tigers swinging at it up and out of the zone. So if you look at his motion, his delivery, very deceiving.
In there, strike 3, caught looking. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
No, he just threw him 2 high fastballs, and he throws this breaking ball right out of the same plane. You can see the knuckle curve grip. And Presley's telling himself, lay off that high fastball. Comes out, and he's thinking high fastball. About the time he gives up, snapdragon down on strikes.
Cut the plate in half, vertically and horizontally. Here's Iglesias, 0 for 2, a fly out and a foul out. So Stripling comes in from the bullpen and has struck out 3 of the 4 outs that he's recorded. That's in there.
Just looking at Stripling's number, he's held left-handed hitters to a 196 average in the National League. So he's pretty tough on him. Tomorrow's starter, Justin Verlander.
There's that knuckle curve, drops in again. Trying to console Fulmer, who pitched so well. An unearned run now has him in a tough spot. Off the glove of Stripling, but he recovers in time to throw out Iglesias for the second out.
Here is the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Tomorrow, we've got Kenta Maeda against Justin Verlander. We're trying to go above the 500 mark. He's 8-8 this year. Maeda 11-4. See pretty good numbers, good workhorses. JV 151 innings. He's looking at 32, 33 starts again. This guy's health has been amazing over his career.
What a workhorse.
Over 2,500 innings.
Maeda from Tokyo. So today, South Korea on the mound for the Dodgers and their international roster. Maeda, Japanese star tomorrow.
The Dodgers have always been rich in the cultures of all around on their squad.
The fact that 1947 Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier as a Dodger, the impact of that to the Dodger organization has been immense through the years. Black youngsters playing this game wanted to be a Dodger. And so many of African Americans, and Doc Roberts, his father African American, his mother Japanese, and first a minority manager for the Dodgers. Two and two as Stripling works to Kinsler, who has walked twice and doubled.
It's a guy you picked on, picked the stick. 4 points so far for Big M.
I got to try to help out Mario.
How about a round tripper right here?
Sees a lot of pitches, doesn't he?
Yes, he has today. 3-2 again. I think that's the third time today.
Mikey Mautuk on deck. Got him, boy. Stripling comes in with a strikeout stuff. 4 strikeouts in 2 innings for the reliever. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Detroit and FS1 is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. So the seemingly unbeatable Dodgers have a 1-0 lead after 7 innings here at Comerica this afternoon as they go for their 52nd win in the last 61 games. It's just impossibly outstanding.
Yeah, that's winning 5 out of 6 games all year. Every 5 out of 6.
Chase Utley leads off the 8th inning, and the new pitcher is Alex Wilson. Tough luck for Fulmer. 7 innings, 1 run unearned, only 3 hits. He walked 2, hit 1, struck out 6. Here's Wilson's numbers.
Alex, you see his 53rd game. Again, he's a workhorse. He had 62 appearances last year. Over 70 innings. Pitched well over his last 5 outings for the Tigers. Lefties are only hitting 236 off. He's got kind of a cutter moving into the lefties.
Presley, who pinch hits, goes to right field, and Matuk moves from right field to center field, as you saw. Protective swing.
Yeah, Chase Utley, he really battles when he gets 2 strikes on him. Really learned how to not get greedy. Just trying to put it in play. Hopefully he can get the pitcher to make a mistake. Do some damage.
They use the shift on the infield, but play Utley dead straight away in the outfield. One and 2. 37,182 on a beautiful day in the Motor City. Great turnout by these Tiger fans. It's a great franchise. Word from the clubhouse. The Dodgers report that Bellinger a mild right ankle sprain day to day.
Yeah, mild. That could be somewhat severe.
There is some humor in that, even though it involves an injury. You can't always trust the reports you get from the clubhouse.
Well, I think you can wake up tomorrow mild, if you would say acute or light, thinking okay, but that kind of leaves, to me, we're looking to see how he wakes up tomorrow. Alex is taking it to a 3-2 count here for the Tigers. Again, last night 3 walks, 3 leadoff walks, and they all scored for the Dodgers.
Brandon Morrow, the veteran right-hander, warming up for the Dodgers. So Wilson had Utley down 2 strikes, and Utley works him for a walk, leading off. Often comes back to bite you when you lose that leadoff man on a base on balls.
Especially when you have 2 strikes. The Dodgers, they're relentless. They play every game. They're always pressuring. This is a relentless attack offensively. Play good defense. They pitch well. Thus you see the numbers in of historic proportion.
Ground ball to the hole. Nice stop by Iglesias. Does he get him? No. Terrific play by the Tiger shortstop to range into the hole and make that underhand flip back to second. Momentum carrying him away from the bag, and Utley just does get there before the force.
Yeah, Chase has a good secondary lead down there. Iglesias has to take a extra step before he's able to throw it. Utley in there ahead of the throw.
Quite a series for Chris Taylor. On base 3 times today with a walk, a hit batsman, and an infield hit, and he had 4 hits last night. So first 2 men aboard for Los Angeles, and here's Corey Seager, infield hit in 3 at-bats.
He won't be bunting.
So now you're into the teeth of this Dodger lineup with no one out and 2 men aboard.
The Dodgers believe the highest impact position in their lineup is number 2. You put your best hitter there.
You agree with that? Ground ball to second, could be 2. There's 1. Iglesias back to first. A double play.
It didn't work there, but I don't know that I can argue. They have their proprietary data and they believe it.
Boy, that was room service double play ball off the bat of Seager.
It was. Good pitch, got a little cut on it. Gets it on the ground, right to Kinsler for an easy double play.
So 2 outs with Utley moving to third.
Obviously, with the Dodger bullpen, the way it's performed this year, the Tigers do not want to give up any more runs.
Here's Turner. 0 for 3 today. Into foul territory goes Cabrera and back about 4 rows. So Turner, the leading hitter in the National League, last night had a single in 3 at-bats, was walked twice. So 1 for 6 in the series. Last 3 years, he's hit at the 296 clip and 50 home runs. He's like that good wine, getting better every year.
Well, he's cleaned some things up. He's always been a good hitter, but you're always trying to refine things, make it easier, make yourself quicker to the ball, less susceptible to the off-speed pitch, learning how to lay off the high pitch. The more balls you hit within the zone, the higher your average is going to be. Your batted balls in play is going to go up.
How about Jose Altuve? He's in another league, isn't he?
My goodness, he's. When we watched him play, I thought he'd be the MVP.
Turner trying to shoot that ball to right field.
And he's not very big, but he's got pop.
Yeah, that double play combination for the Astros. That is a delight to watch, both in the field and at bat.
Well, when we played him, Correa was out of the lineup. Altuve was not. He was in had like a 20-game hit streak going.
2 outs. Utley at third. Oh, good block by McCann. He saved a run.
Utley was really coming down the line. Good block right here by McCann, keeps it in front. I can tell you, Utley, he'll go at any chance he can get. Are you going to be able to see him? Look at him coming to the inside of that line in case McCann wants to try and pick him off. He'll take it off the body.
Those are the little things the veteran player brings to the game every day. 1-2. Almost over the head of McCann. So he bounces a 55-footer and then almost took that one to the screen. 2-2. Wilson is 30, and he, like Stripling, who's the pitcher of record for the Dodgers, a former Aggie. Texas A&M. Ground ball up the middle, and Iglesias can't get it. In comes Utley, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. Lead-off walk, comes around to score again. That's the 4th time in the 2 games of this series. Tigers have walked a leadoff man, and all 4 times that man has come around to score.
That stings, and that's a sign of a good team. Dodgers have had it going all year long. See Iglesias disappointed he can't get it, and Turner has done it all year long for the Dodgers and does it again.
That'll bring up Yasiel Puig for the 2nd time. He struck out in the 7th facing Michael Fulmer.
Yeah, keep an eye on Fulmer. He will run.
Turner has 5 stolen bases. Did he go? No. The Dodgers are on a 1-week road trip, 3 here in Detroit. Then they go to Pittsburgh for 4. Ground ball right side, and Kinsler closes the hole, gets Puig, but the Dodgers pick up a run. Leadoff walk, infield hit Taylor, and an RBI single for Justin Turner.
Game. Michael Fulmer threw a gym today. Fastball really effective, 95 to 98 miles an hour. Threw it 59% of the time of his 105 pitches. That's 61 pitches. We believe he got around 15 outs with the fastball. You can just see the Dodger hitters really could not predict all that movement at the end of the pitches. Michael unfortunately gave up 1 earned run, 7 innings, 3 hits. 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. Very good day for Michael.
Yeah, the Tigers certainly needed a pitcher to give them that kind of a start. They're last in baseball in team ERA, over 5, and in the last 12 games their ERA combined 8.95. So
we got a wall side windows pitching change for the Dodgers. Brandon Morrow. See the numbers. ERA, sub-1 WHIP. These Dodgers, you look at all the relievers, they don't walk anybody.
Less walks than any team in baseball.
And no freebies.
And Brandon Morrow, a great story. He's battled through a career that includes him fighting diabetes, has to take his insulin every day. He was a non-roster player. Start of spring training. Here he is on the big club again.
He's got a pretty good fastball, 97 plus. Throws a slider.
Shane Green in the Tiger pen.
And a cutter. Like to get Greeny up and in the 9th inning with the lead. The Tigers would.
Matuk slides one to right field, and Puig goes back and makes the catch. Yasiel Puig broke perfectly and makes the backhanded catch on the run.
And this is a good read and a good route. Mikey Matuk This is what we call a bullet. And Puig made sure he got a good read on it and just right to the spot, reached up, pulled it down. One away from the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 8th.
Started to talk about the first time we saw Puig a few years ago when he came up to the big club. Highly heralded. And in his first game, he goes back in right field, makes a catch, and completes a double play with a rocket throw back to first base. I mean, he is a 5-tool player. You just got to get that mind wrapped around all that physical talent, and it appears he's maturing. Upton, 1-1.
It does seem like, and I competed against Puig when he first came up when I was with the Diamondbacks. You know, he was kind of a wild stallion, I guess, early coming over here, but has taken good direction and he is maturing. Talks to several of the coaches that are very proud of the way Yasiel is developing.
Up high, 2-1. Morrow broke in as a top draft pick with Seattle, Toronto for 5 years, Padres for a couple of years. Was in the minor league system of the Padres most of last year. Signed as a minor league free agent by the Dodgers, and here he is, a top contributor.
And the environment of being a major league player has changed somewhat as of late. You see a lot of guys like Morrow that come back. Many have high accolades coming into the game, into the league, only to not live up to it, and that's hard to deal with. And then you have physical things that happen.
Boy, that last pitch was at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's got some juice.
Oh, my.
Think he could hit that, Dick?
Could I even hear it?
You'd hear it. It goes by.
Zoom.
They hiss.
Struck him out. That's the third time that Upton has gone down on strikes. Yeah.
Morrow just going with the high cheese again. See right at the top of the zone. It's 99 miles an hour. That's firm. And the shadows again very prevalent. You have the pitcher and the batter in the shadow, and then the rest where your eyesight is and your background, it's all light.
Cabrera 0 for 3 with a couple of punch outs. Right back to Morrow under his glove. Still got a chance. Not in time. So on that play, the Tigers will bring the tying run to the plate.
Should be a hit.
I would think so.
First pitch swinging. Looked like Morrow had it pretty easily, but off the tip of his glove, and Miguel Cabrera, the big fella, gets out of the box and he's digging.
You could taste that infield hit, and so with 2 outs, the Tigers bring the tying run to the plate here in the 8th inning.
That's all you can ask, isn't it?
Castellanos is 1 for 3, a long out to right field his last time. That was the ball in which Bellinger sprained his ankle.
Castellanos over the first 2 games. Fastballs in, lots of chase away, chase pitches away, sliders, breaking balls, and they go above the zone.
16 homers for the third baseman. Could make amends here for that error on the pop fly. Crowds him at 98.
So some hitters eliminate pitches. Gary Sheffield, I heard an interview with him the other day. That's Castellanos. I would try and eliminate everything on the inside part of the plate. You're not going to hit those pitches. Look for it away.
Lifts that one into the right field corner. Puig on the run, and it's into the crowd.
No, of course you can't do that. You got 2 strikes. Got to protect.
For those of you that weren't with us at the opening of the game today, this is the best stretch, the 60-game stretch for the Dodgers. 51-9 since 1912. The New York Giants, over 100 years ago, to find a run of victories in a stretch of 60 games as good as the Dodgers are building as we speak. High fly ball, shallow right center, late break, but in to make the play is the center fielder Taylor. So to the 9th inning, 2-0 Dodgers.
John Keating and Rod Allen with a 1-800-CALL-SAM update. For those of you watching in the great state of Michigan, we'll be with you for Tigers Live immediately after the game, and we'll spend part of that program in absolute amazement about what the Dodgers managed to do.
Outstanding baseball team, John. We knew as much. They get it done in a variety of different ways. Today has been the elder statesman on their ball club. It's been Utley. It's been Granderson. It's been Gonzalez. They've got a bullpen that's locked down. Jansen threw 23 pitches in yesterday's game. They had the day off prior to that. I expect the Tigers to see him in the 9th.
All right, we'll see if the Tigers have a rally in the last of the 9th here at the ballpark. But first, the top of the 9th, and we go back upstairs to Dick Enberg and Kirk Gibson.
All right, John and Ron, thank you very much. And here's Shane Green making his 57th appearance.
It's a wall side windows pitching change. Last pitch on the 16th down in Texas. Gave up a couple of runs. Now the closer for the Tigers since they traded away Justin Wilson. Greeny's got good stuff. Lots of movement on that fastball. Very good slider.
Granderson is 0 for 3 today. He's hit the ball hard. Safe the last time on that pop fly that eluded Castellanos at third base, and Granderson came around to score the first run of the game, unearned against Michael Fulmer. Alex Wilson gives up a run in the 8th inning on the leadoff walk, and eventually the 2-out single to Justin Turner. Well, the Dodger pitching has blanked the Detroit roster. Granderson taking 2-1. There he is, one of the best in the business, Kenley Jansen.
Yeah, he seemed a little rusty last night. It had been a while since he's thrown and gave up a couple of runs. But shut down the Tigers.
Hit to right field and caught by Presley going away. Granderson has become a Dodger, and he's hit the ball hard. Doesn't have anything to show for it except safe on that error and scored. MLB TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Dodger catcher Grandal struck out, tapped out, and walked today. Off speed for a strike. Jeff Farrell, just in case.
Yeah, the Tigers are trying to get Greeny some, kind of get him a little tune-up. He hasn't pitched in a while, but yeah, they don't want him to be not available for tomorrow's day game. So they probably have a pitch limit on him. But right now, only at 6 pitches.
Hit well to left field. That's going to chase Upton back to the warning track, and it is gone. Grandal will touch them all. The power to go to the opposite field, and Grandal has his 16th homer of the season, and the Dodgers pad their lead 4-0. 3-0 rather.
Greeny gets behind in the count. Comes with the fastball. Not a lot of movement on it. 95 miles an hour. Grandal just barrels it right over the middle to the outer third. And the ball is carrying to left field. Flag blowing straight out. The heat is convective activity. It's carrying the ball. Grandal with a homer.
That's a big run for the Dodgers. Insurance run. As Gonzalez steps up, hit the ball hard 3 times, line to center, line to second, line to single to knock in a run. First run of the game in the 7th inning. He's now only 2 hits away, Gonzalez, from 2,000 in his outstanding career. That one lifted to left with distance. Upton a couple of steps from the barrier for the second out. Ball carrying to left field.
Yeah, he just missed that. Just got it off the end of the bat. Adrian goes that way deep. You know he's locked in, and after coming off the DL, he looks like he's feeling pretty good for the Dodgers.
Yeah, when he was a Padre, it was shocking how many, majority of his home runs were to left field, not to right field.
He's got a lot of power, and read where he's willing to, if he has to sit, he says he'll sit. He won't cause any trouble. Leave it up to the manager to make the right moves.
Forsythe takes strike 1. Logan has struck out twice and tapped to the mound. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Tigers have scheduled Martinez, McCann, and Presley. Excuse me, a check swing that rolls foul.
They do have under bench Romine, Machado, and Hicks. Hicks may be a guy, get a couple guys on, you take a chance because he can pop one. Got big power.
3 young Tigers to face number 74, Kenley Jansen. That was his address as a youngster, 74 on his street. Slice down the right field line, and that one will fall foul. Just foul, and that'll make a Tiger fan happy as he comes up with a souvenir.
It's a good breaking ball. Forsythe, this team, this Dodger team, they stay on these breaking balls good. Even though this pitch is down, watch Forsythe stay on it. This ball's breaking down. Look at the eyes on it. Just protecting. It is foul. It's good stuff. Is that a Tram fan there jumping around? Yep.
Right back to the mound and an easy play. And that's the story for the Dodgers in the ninth, but a big home run from Yasmani Grandal, and they lead it 3-0.
Bottom of the ninth, Detroit trails the Dodgers 3-0. And here's the big boy, big play of the game. It happened in the seventh inning. Michael Fulmer was cruising, got the first two. Curtis Granderson hits a pop-up against the shift, and Nick Castellanos is charged with an error. And later, Adrian Gonzalez, just back from the DL, plates the first run for the Dodgers. They've added two more. We stand at 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Tigers down to their last 3 outs.
And they're 3 outs away from losing their 6th in a row, and the Tigers would see the Dodgers win 6 in a row, but that's just part of the LA story. But first, Jansen goes to work, and the first pitch is popped up. Martinez has Gonzalez take a look, and that's out of play. The Dodgers trying to win not only their 6th in a row, 21 of their last 24, 52 of their last 61 in this historical run that takes us back 100 years to find somebody who has had a series of 61 games in a season and lose so few. 9 losses in 61 games should they win today.
Yeah, people talk about how they expect to win when they come to the park. I guess so. It's a lot of victories in 60 games.
Martinez has had some success against Jansen, who looks for his 33rd save of the year. Into the shift, and Utley takes care of the first out.
That's where the shifts are so effective. In the olden days, you just have a second baseman there, and they didn't play on the grass hardly at all. Now they got an extra guy on the right side of the diamond. Utley is way back on the outfield grass and gobbles that up.
And of all the mind-boggling statistics of this victory avalanche of the Los Angeles Dodgers, maybe the most impressive of all, although it's pretty tough to beat, winning 52 of 61 should they win today, is they have not lost a series in their last 20 series, and this would be 21 should they win today. There are 18 wins in the series, and 3 have been tied. But in this series, not losing a series since June 5th, every other team in the major leagues has lost at least 6 series. Oh my.
So at this time, the Dodgers well out front of everybody, outplaying everybody. Will it turn into a World Series championship, though? Nobody knows.
No. They only lead Colorado by 19 games, and Colorado's having a great season under Buddy Black. Swing and a miss, and down goes McCann. 2 away.
Just saw Clayton Kershaw there. They're expecting to get him back. He was 15-2 before he went on the disabled list.
Yeah, they need more pitching, don't they?
Can never have enough pitching. There's your standings.
Colorado and Arizona battling for a wild card behind the Dodgers, and yet the Dodgers just have run away from everyone. St. Louis and Milwaukee.
So if you're one of those guys behind, you got to be saying, how can we beat the Dodgers? You have to build your team when you're in the National League to beat the Dodgers.
Presley entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 7th and was struck out by Stripling. Ross Stripling stands to be the winner for the Dodgers in relief. Pitched 2 hitless innings, struck out 4. Slap foul, and Tigers down to their final strike.
Jansen throwing the ball after giving up 3 hits last night and a run. He's in the save situation tonight. He was not last night. Really attacking. Quick pitch. Did you see that?
Yeah. Jansen will do a lot of that herky-jerky. He'll come with a nice fluid motion. He'll do the little pause in the middle of the windup, and there you better be ready.
Catcher's interference.
And the Tigers get a base runner on the catcher's interference, so charge Grandal with an error.
It's no at bat, isn't it, in the official scorebook? I think it may not be an at bat.
The same as a walk or a hit batsman.
Got the glove. You can see the rosin come out of the tire come off the glove there.
So Jose Iglesias, who's 0 for 3, trying to keep it alive, get on base, and bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Iglesias is 0 for 7 in the series.
Well, the Dodgers have taken advantage of a break. Tiger error in the 7th. We have catcher's interference. Will this be a break that the Tigers can take advantage and tie this game up and go on to win?
Runner goes. Defensive indifference.
Now there's another windup by Jansen. Really delayed that time, trying to vary his looks.
Foul ball denies Presley second base, but he'll be running again here as Gonzalez playing behind him, not holding him on.
I'm going to take a look from behind right here. Look how herky-jerky. Look how he throws his glove.
Bounce to the right side, Utley. And the ball game is over. The amazing run of the Dodgers continues. Got to go buy another book of adjectives. This is incredible. Wow. 3-0 LA. The locomotive in the National League rolls on. And now for those of you watching on FS1, we'll take you to NHRA qualifying.